Hello, I am the official Tracy Ricks, and welcome to Candid Conversations. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the one thing that almost destroyed my marriage. Yes, this one thing, it tried to take us to a place that we didn't know how to come back from. And what I'm talking to you about this day on this session is pride. Yes, that spirit of pride. I'm going to give you guys I'm talking about detailed information concerning my relationship. I'm going to talk to you guys about signs that maybe you're operating in pride and you're not aware of it. But I just want you to sit back. I want you to relax and take a few minutes and like my video. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And then I want you to click on that notification bell so that you can become notified when we're uploading new videos. Now let me go back to telling you guys all the tea about pride, how it almost destroyed my marriage. Now, back some years ago, and I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm very proud of it. See that pride? I remembered how the beginning stages of our marriage, I thought that, I was being just an independent woman. I was not aware that pride was the reason why I operated the way I operated. I remember distinctively that I was trying to self-protect. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but there were so many occasions where I did not allow myself to be vulnerable with my husband. So therefore, it limited our relationship. Yes, pride, the Bible talks about how it comes before a fall. God resists the proud, but he gives grace to what? The humble. So as I became aware of the fact that I had a lot of pride operating through me, I did not want it to destroy my relationship. So I had to learn how to be humble. I had to humble myself under the mighty hand of God. And he began to exalt me and my marriage. Oh my God, I'm talking about beyond my wildest dreams. So today I want you to just take some time and sit here and maybe even take notes and decide, you know what? If I can see myself in any of this, then I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to take my power back. So my husband and I, we met some years ago. We've been married 22 years. I just thank God that he is a mighty man of God. And I thank God that he allowed me to grow. Somebody say God give grace to the humble. Yes, he does. That means he allows us to grow. But we have to be patient with ourselves, giving ourselves, okay, the kind of, we talked about self-love that allows us to grow through whatever it is that we're trying to do better concerning our character flaws. I call them character flaws because it's nothing that we can't overcome. So I was the kind of person, once again, I operated with a lot of pride. I thought I was being an independent woman, but I had to learn how to be humble. I had to humble myself under the mighty hand of God. And that included being vulnerable, learning vulnerability. This is something that I learned about people who operate in pride. When we're operating in that, what we call the defense mechanism of pride, that's usually a person who's fractured some type of way. They're trying to self-protect. They want to, and when I say they, that includes me, that type of person, they want to self-protect. It's like, I can't let you get too close. I gotta be tough. And once again, those people who operate in pride, the way I was operating in pride, it's a form of self-protection. Now, as a believer, if you are a believer, as a child of God, we have to learn how to trust God with our relationships. We have to learn that even though you might have been hurt in your past, you got to realize that if God sends somebody to you, he's not going to send anybody to you to hurt you. Yes, you guys might have to grow through some things. I'm not saying that you won't, because God knows I had to grow through some things, but learn how to let ourselves go in that relationship. And I know that can be hard when you've been maybe in abusive relationships, or you had people in your life that have hurt you, or you've gone through rejection issues. I had to learn that I could trust my husband with my heart. Somebody need to say that again. You have to learn how to trust your significant other, your partner, with your heart. There were times where we would have discussions and things that we needed to talk about. Let me say it this way, but we couldn't have a comforting conversation because pride would come up. And I would say things like, oh, I'm good. Yes, I know you can relate to that. These are some of the signs of a person who's prideful, or pride is operating through you. You're saying, I'm good, or I already know that. or when you're trying to have a conversation with that person, they'll shut you down, even using slogans and cliches. Just cast your care on the Lord. Well, the word also tells us in all of our getting to get an understanding. So we don't want to ignore these symptoms and these signs that we could be operating in pride, because once again, pride can come before that fall. And there's been so many relationships that God, he meant for you guys to be together. He meant for the people, to come together as one. But because they were not aware of that spirit of pride, it could cause people to, abort relationships, walk away from not just a husband and a wife relationship, but there's relationships in the kingdom of God that God meant for you guys to connect. But because of pride, you couldn't receive the help. A prideful person will always feel like they got all the answers. Oh, I know that. I read the whole Bible. Well, are you operating in it? So this is not to put you down, but I pray it's helping to build you up to look more like Christ. Well, why do I need to hear all of this? Because God wants you in blissful relationships. He wants us to have marriages that others can say, that's the kind of marriage that I want. Now, let me share this with you guys. After I realized the culprit was pride, after I discovered that I could do something about it, I became intentional. And I began to use the right tools so that I can become whole in Christ. I had to begin to work on myself first. I didn't try to work on my husband, but I began to work on me. And I'm so thankful and grateful that I allowed God, to work through me. He gave me the grace to grow through those times when I had a whole lot of pride, and I haven't arrived yet. I'm a long way from where I came from, but I want you to know that the ball is in your court. You can get started right now and decide the type of marriage you want to have, the type of relationship you want to have. And let me say this, if you're single, work on this before you even engage in a relationship with anybody. Decide, I'm going to work on the areas that I need to work on. Do an honest, gentle self-introspect. If you are the type of person that you're operating in pride, if you are learning this today, you can do something about it. I believe this, I truly believe this with all sincerity of heart, that God, He will show us things. He will show us ourselves so that we can take the initiative to do something about it. I know that when we humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God and we want to do better with our lives and we want to, have blissful relationships, then I know that God will give us the grace to grow. Back to self-love, I had to learn to be long-suffering with myself through this process. There were times that I wanted to reject my husband, the things he said, but I had to learn, no, I can accept the things that he's saying to me in love. See, pride will cause you not to even be able to receive from your mate. They're coming to you with love and humility, but you can't receive it because of pride, that self-protection. So I want to encourage you today that if you're in a relationship and it's not going the way, you want it to go, and that God said in His word that it could be, then I want you to take some time to do an honest, gentle self-introspect and think maybe it is pride. That spirit of pride, I'm telling you, it has destroyed so many God-ordained relationships. Let me say that again. I truly believe that usually at the root of most, especially marital issues, is pride. Somebody's caught up into pride. Even with my children, I had to learn that I couldn't let pride operate through me with my children. Mom, I want to talk to you about our relationship. And see, a prideful person will say something like this: oh, I'm good. I'm a good parent. You mean you don't have any areas to grow in? And I'm not talking about your children being disrespectful, but when I decided that I did not want to operate in pride anymore, I allowed my children to speak into my life. There's times when my children can come to me and they can talk to me about things that, I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. We're two, and then what I was going to say, imperfect people, because we're working on getting better every day, having a conversation. The grace that I want them to give me as a parent, then I give it to them as children. Somebody need to go ahead and say, oh, thank you for this session on today, on tonight. I want it to be free. So we want to be free. God will begin to reveal things to us. And I want to help you. I want to help you to become free enough to decide that you can become the best version of you. You can decide that I don't want to be prideful. You can decide that whatever it is that you're operating in, whatever character flaws that you can decide today that I'm going to work on that. But that pride, let me tell you guys, it could have destroyed my marriage. My husband and I, we have learned that we can grow through things. We have learned that God, He meant for us to be together. And I truly believe this. When I tell you guys, after we learned how to grow together, after I decided that I was not going to let that pride hold me back from being vulnerable with my husband, our marriage went to another level, to another zone. And this is not hype, this is truth. I began to just realize that I don't want a marriage where I can't be free with my husband. I decided that I didn't want to have a relationship with my kids where they couldn't come to their mom. And I decided that I wanted relationships in my family that could operate in vulnerability, that we could be humble, okay, with each other enough to say, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Oh, and let me talk about this again. I got to tell you guys about this. Now, let me tell you about this. I could never say, I apologize, I'm sorry. See, a prideful person, they can't say that, because that's admitting that you have some flaws. Oh, go ahead and take a sip, somebody. I want you to know, and let me share this with you, that you can take your power back. Are you ready to have a blissful marriage? Strip down the pride. God want to use you. He want to use your marriage as a ministry. He wants to use your relationship with your sister, with your brother as a ministry. But pride will cause you guys not to be able to come together. There are a lot of families because of that spirit of pride. There's chaos throughout generations. That thing have tried to pass down from grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins, people that's not even speaking because of that foul, I call it foul spirit of pride. But today I want you to decide that I'm going to listen to my thorough coach. I've never seen her before, but I'm going to connect with her. I want to take my life to the next level. All of my relationships began to flourish when I started dealing with that spirit of pride. That was one of the top culprits, one of the main reasons why my relationships were not going the way that I prayed about. I had to do something about it. I heard you. I've been praying for my marriage to turn around. I'm praying for my relationships to turn around. God is saying, listen, let me show you what's the issue. Maybe, just maybe, it could be pride. Once again, a prideful person don't want to receive correction. They know it all. She's not talking to me. She's talking to my cousin. No, it's for you today. So I just want you to know that you can decide at any given moment that I want to change, that I want to transform. I want to recreate me. I don't want to be the kind of person that people can't talk to, and that I'm so closed-minded that, I'd rather go to divorce court than to work on me. And I'm not against divorce. If that's what you feel like God is leading you to do. But a lot of the divorces, I truly believe, you guys, with all humility, I am humble, that they could have been avoided if somebody just decide that I want to operate in pride. Make that decision today. So once again, I want you guys to connect with me. I have my new mini empowerment class coming up on Friday night. Early bird registration ends on Monday night, which is tonight. But I want you guys, if you're watching the replay, you might not be too late to get in on the early bird registration. $25, that's all. But we're going to be talking about finances. Maybe you're in a situation where you've been prideful and you don't want anybody to know that you're not prepared for your future. It's okay. Strip the pride aside. We're going to be talking about finances one-on-one, the basics. We're not going to beat you down, but we're going to build you up, that it's not too late to get your finances together. Also, if you're planning on retiring in the future, maybe you're not sure what you're going to do, there's a plan for you. We're going to talk about kingdom wealth building. So I want you guys to come in. I have my girl. She's a financial guru, Morgan Scott. We're going to talk to you guys about what we can do, how we can take our power back concerning our finances. They've been talking about a recession. That somebody say, I'm not participating. So I want you to connect with me, and I want you to sign up. Click that link to sign up for my virtual class, Finances 101, Kingdom Wealth Building Strategies. So let's connect. Don't forget, once again, to click like on my YouTube channel. Yay! And then I want you to click on the subscription. Make sure you subscribe so we can keep you in the know. And then also, I want want you to hit that little bell so that you can become notified when I upload the new videos. Let me slow down. So that you can become notified when I upload new videos. Well, I'm excited about your future, and I want you to know that not only does God love you very, very much, but He has placed His hands on you for something special, and it's bigger than big and greater than great. I thank you guys for allowing me to be vulnerable. And let me say this, Jesus took your guilt, shame, and your blame. You don't have to feel ashamed of your past, but let's not let it hold us back. Your history does not determine your destiny. Wow. So no matter what you guys have gone through, let's decide from this point forward, we're going to grow through it. Me and my mate, we're going to grow through this. Me and my other relationships, we're going to grow through this. Once again, I want you guys to connect with me, and I want you to decide that I'm going to view this video and I'm going to share it with somebody else, and know that God has an awesome plan and a purpose for you in your life, and all of your relationships, they were meant to all of your relationships were meant to be blissful. See you guys in my next video.